You've listened to a lot today, and we were so excited about the show because of what you said last week. So, what say you?
Well, actually, the after chat today with Andre and all of you guys speaking about things that are precious to me. How do we get people to vote? How do we encourage people who know what's at stake to go out and do what's right? And it's something that, incidentally, my birthday coming up, I'll be 89.
Oh,
So I come from a different uh, decade from a lot of you. I grew up in a southern town in Memphis under Jim Crow laws. So things that I do flavor what I do today. It's all connected. I'm a reader, and so I love what Kirsten stated, but I always thought about when people talk about books, I go back to Julius Caesar talking about Cassius. Jan Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous. Reading and learning is a dangerous proposition. That's why they didn't want the enslaved people to learn to read and write, because what you know and how you know it and how you live it makes a difference in how you react to in today's world. The other thing, Democrats are so nice to each other. We try to be everything to everybody. We are a diverse group. There's no doubt about it. That's great. So we can't expect every person who runs to be exactly what we want them to be and to think how we want them to think. And I go back to Kamala Harris. I was told earlier, before that, oh, she didn't have the experience. She didn't have this. She didn't have that. Oh, why, you know? And so people were disgusted because we didn't have a primary. And so we didn't have a primary. And what if we had had a primary? Then I'm thinking, what other presidential election would have happened if the president was no longer there? Wouldn't the vice president automatically be the one that people would go to 100%?
Right.
Didn't happen. Even if you thought she was the worst candidate in the world, I'm thinking, how could she be worse than Donald Trump, whose Republican people were just pushing him and pushing him and pushing him? And we didn't do that to our candidate. I don't know. Well, I do know why, but I won't say it. Part of it, the reason. I know what happened. And I know what happened makes a difference into how we're going to carry forth. Somebody mentioned it earlier, back with McAuliffe. We know DEI kept people away. And we know the people who were kept away from voting and went to the other side were not Black people. We know that. And so there is something intrinsic that has started from the very beginning. Generally speaking, white people run away from Black people when something is at stake, something powerful is at stake. We keep talking about Obama, or what Obama did and how he did it, but we always forget that it was so few Republican men and women who voted for him. Black people and minority people in today's world are appreciative of the 40% of white people who actually care about perfecting the union. Let's face it. So my thrust has always been, let me see how one by one more white person understanding, because they know climate is an issue. They know gun safety is an issue. They know education is an issue. They know they know the freedom to take control of your own body is an issue. I know they know that because they say that, but they don't vote that. And I'm trying to find out why they don't vote that. And maybe this group has helped me learn a lot because I see you pushing for the same things that people push for. And can't say logical because I'm sure I'm not logical all of the time. But there are certain basic moral principles that I believe each of us inside of ourselves know to be true, And I don't understand why we don't vote for those things that we know to be true. And I repeat, since 1619, the issue of race has never been settled. Never. And it will never be settled as long as we stay on the current path we're on. And so let's get out there and fight for what we believe. There is hope. In the midst of despair, there is still hope. But hope all by itself won't do it. Action does it. So let's get to work.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Margaret. You reminded